Hola! Welcome everyone to another episode of Taking Up Space, a Michelle Amir podcast. This podcast, y'all, will be a little different. This podcast is going to be on the same level of rhetoric, the same stuff that I talk about all the time, but because I come forward with the same level of authenticity, the same level of truthfulness, the same level of integrity each time. But I want this more to be like I want this to be more of just a conversation. It's always a conversation, but, you know, today I needed to be a little bit more lackadaisical. I need to be a little bit more laid back. Because I think, a lot of times I think when we decide to come forward showing our gifts, we jeopardize our real selves. Like, it's as if you're no longer capable of just being your real self. Once you come forward and you show your gifts to people and you expound upon things that you actually love. There's no fraud here. These are things that I actually love and that I ponder. And that if you've actually known me, you'll know that they are things that have always been with me along my way. This is nothing new. Yet, a lot of times we go through seasons with people, y'all. We go through seasons on our own, learning ourselves and going through trials and tribulations that are fine-tuning us. And everybody can't go. Everything can't go with us. And it's not as if those people or those aspects that were once with us or that may still be with us disappear. They don't disappear. They're still there. You just don't deal with that any longer. And it's not that you don't wish it well or that you have any ill feelings towards it. You just deny your attention because you're focused on something else. And that's what I want to talk about tonight, y'all. And I know that many of us can relate to this. You know, I have to use myself as an example. Me coming forward doing these Bible studies was not something that I anticipated. Honestly, y'all, I fought it because I knew what came with it. I know how people can be judgmental when you come forward in certain aspects and they expect you to be or embody this particular projection. And I just was like, I'm not with that. God loved me before anybody ever had an opinion of me. I've been walking this walk my whole life. This is the most authentic aspect of myself. Anybody that comes forward and gives and lays their truths on the line, whether in a biblical perspective, in preaching, not even preaching, but looking to interpret the gospel, or even preaching the gospel, or someone that comes forward and lays their barest selves forward to motivate you, is giving you something priceless. Something that costs them a lot, y'all. Something that many will not do. They don't have enough within them to say, okay, I'm going to offer this and I'm going to bare myself naked in front of all of you for you to get a piece of this. Many won't do it. And a lot of times in doing these types of things, you get put under such scrutiny. It'd be easier to sell a car. Honestly, it'd be easier to sell a house. It'd be easier to manipulate a dude out of it. It'd be easier to manipulate a woman out of it. It'd be easier to do a number of different things, but to lay yourself bare in front of the congregation of people that either knew you or are just meeting you is the most humbling thing you'll ever do. And, you know, in doing that, it shows everybody something. It shows those people that knew you at one time the possibilities that are out there for them to do as well. It puts it in a first-person perspective for them to see and say, you know what, dang, I knew her, and I still know her because I knew her so long, even though we may not have seen each other in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years. The amount of time I spent with her, I knew her or him. So I know that that is possible for me as well. I know their story. And then it lays it there for those that don't even know you, that see you and that hear your story and they can relate to it and they feel like you're them in some aspects based upon the relatability that you're conveying to them. That symbiotic cabal, spiritual cabal that you are conveying and that they tap into. They feel like that is possible for them as well. And at the same time, y'all, people begin to micromanage you. They begin to, not everyone, but many capitalistic-minded people begin to micromanage you. People that probably aren't tapping in on that level of trying to embody that. They may want to capitalize on it in some way. Or they may be some people that you knew in your past that low-key wish that they still knew you. Wish that they still had a connection with you. So they look to micromanage your walk and discredit you. So it doesn't make them feel so bad. I'm here to tell you, you guys, you're going to get all of that, and you must keep going. You got to keep it pushing. You must act as if you are on a mission sent by God, and that no man, no woman, no thing can dissuade you. You got to motivate yourself a lot of times because, friends, it is a very lonely road. It is a road filled with scenarios that are put in your place to diminish your value, to make you second guess yourself, all of these different things. Yet, there is the aspect of God that is most pronounced and that keeps you going. You know, it was on my spirit today, y'all. This is on my spirit right now. I want to speak to this because it's heavy on me. You know, when you come forward and you speak your spiritual truths, it's as if you got to walk on water for people. Like, friend, why can't I just be very similar to you? Why do I have to be so far away from you? As if none of this is attainable. Why does it have to be hypocritical in some way? Why do you have to devalue it to a point where you look at me as if I'm some alien to you? If I'm even conveying that right. You guys, it's a very interesting thing. It's an interesting thing, and it really speaks to where we are as a group of people, not culturally, but collectively. Collectively across the board, where we are as a people, how mature we are, no matter what age you're at. Because I see this actually happening more within the older age groups than the younger. Because the younger age groups, they have the ability to say, you know what, I got time to figure it out. You know what, I'm more flexible because I don't know. Whereas the older age groups, they feel like, you know what, I ain't got a lot of time to figure it out. And you know what, I've been through too much. I've seen too much. and I'm fixed in my ways. I'm telling you. Yet, God says, when I move, you move. I need you to be ready. I need you to be ready to move when I move. And I need you to stay capable. And I need you to stay flexible. And I need you to stay focused, because there will be many things that will come to distract you. And these things be some of the major things that come and look to undermine you. They look to make you undermine yourselves. All from the walks you've had, the places you're most comfortable in going, and you want to frequent them still. Yet, you know, it's not that you can't still frequent them. You could and you can. It's just that there are hiccups. There are things that other people got going on that don't have nothing to do with you. It goes back to the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the chief elders, and the elders. The chief priests and the elders. And when they came upon Jesus, all of these people at different instances come upon Jesus, and they picking Jesus's brain. They came to Jesus. Jesus ain't came to these people. Jesus has not sought these people out. Jesus has not once came to these people and said, I want to be cool with you. Hey, how you doing? Where you been? Why haven't you called me? These people have all come to Jesus, and they said, ask him this and ask him that. And they ask Jesus all these rhetorical questions to legitimize Jesus, and to basically to even see if Jesus is ahead of them. And if so, how far? How far ahead of me is Jesus? Whether financially or mentally or, you know, with relationships, whatever. How far ahead of you are you than me? So I can base my credibility on you. All of these people come and look for him. He ain't look for near one of them. And the fact that they came to look for him speaks volumes to where they are mentally. It speaks volumes to their intention. They wanted to know. They wanted to connect. But the ego, the pride, it wouldn't allow it. So they rather forfeit the entire relationship. The entire blessing. Friends, if you knew the blessing, and I'm not saying that any of you nor I have a blessing to give to someone on the level that Jesus was able to bless these people. But I'm going to use this as an example because it is a prime example. These people were able to capitalize tremendously from an individual that could have shifted the whole entire dynamic of their family line. Entire dynamic. Just by being connected to him in a truthful way. If you look at all of his disciples, every last one of them benefited tremendously. And it was not just them. Their vine, their name. Yet the elders and the scribes and the Pharisees and all of them, they couldn't do it. Yet had they had, because Jesus gave them they were the first to get the opportunity. Even one of them that would have stepped and said, Jesus, I don't know. I would like to know. I've been pondering this. I've been thinking about this. And I know I'm going to get in trouble with my brethren for saying this, but I got to know because I love God. And this is not about a look. You might be right, even a little bit. And if so, I want to know. How would that have shifted things for them and us? Yo, these are the things. There will be many that will come, friend, when you are doing what you should be doing for yourself, and that is in alignment with what God has bestowed for you to do. They will come as naysayers. They will come as people that will be looking to find any little nuance or any little thing to check what your financial situation is and as it relates to them and how they can compete with you, or how you are mentally as it relates to them and how they can compete with you, and what you look like and present to the world and how that can compete with you or them, so that you or them can feel better about yourselves. I'm here to tell you, all of us need to focus on ourselves. Don't worry. Look, I'm not worried about what nobody else got going on. I do not care, and God is my witness. I wish everyone whatever God has bestowed for you. I used to say I wish you the best, but you know, I don't give out my blessings blindly like that no more. I leave it up to God and I say, I wish for you what God has bestowed for you. And I leave it there. Yet there are many that act as if they are not bothered. And they are. They are. You are loved more than you'll ever know. And I just came forward to tell you. I'm one of your sisters. I'm out here swinging my bat at it just like y'all. There's no difference. I just got enough courage to come forward and stand in what I mean and mean what I say and stay in it and continuously deflect all that the enemy sends, because they send them to me too. And then use all of it against me if they can. They do. As they do all of us. Life, I don't even want to say life because it's not even life. It ain't life, it's people. People in life will send things or send you through situations, and it's not even that you allow them to. You can't even blame yourself and say, you know what? I've allowed that. And so, you know, I got to deal with some stuff you don't even allow, friend. They will come upon you and you have to deal with it. And it takes a toll on you. And I'm not talking about nothing minor, because I got all kinds of stuff going on. And it takes a toll on you. And sometimes you end up projecting in a way that is really not you, based upon the stressors of your life. And that's when the enemy feels like they have you and they can categorize you and say, oh, well, then see, this is that. No, it's not that. This is an individual set in a controlled environment, and they're dealing with a lot of stressors. Stressors that would probably break another person in two. And they're dealing with it integrally. Better than most. Hats off to you. Don't let it get you down. Do not. You got to know yourselves. I'm telling you, if you don't know anything, you have to know yourself. And in knowing yourself, you will know the God within you. I want to leave you with something because I wrote it earlier. And I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to end this. Hold on. I wrote this earlier. Okay. Uh-oh. Why is my key not working? Well, okay. So maybe I won't. And I got a potty. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I got it right. Okay, so I wrote this earlier. I was sitting in my living room, and I sit here and I think before I come forward, and I say, God, what can I say to be useful? And today it came upon me that I should write, because I write a lot and I'm really good at writing. And I decided to write this, and this is what I came with. See, the thing with knowing God is that you learn yourself in the process. In knowing God, you must test your own personal boundaries. Doing so exposes you to more power within you. You are no longer timid. This doesn't mean that fear goes away. No, fear never leaves. You just become more familiar with it. You become wise as a serpent in your approach to it. You respect it for what it truly is, a signal imposed to inform you of newness. Newness to an uncharted area or aspect you haven't engaged with prior to, allowing you to stand before it and search it, cross-reference it to what you've already been through, to try and find commonality between the two so that you can approach it and confidently overcome. See, all these things in life are geared towards our betterment. This thing is not to undermine us. And the only time it comes to undermine us is when we look to make bad decisions, or not even look, when we do. When we don't honor the integral aspects of ourselves. I don't want to make it seem like there's some rhyme or reason, because there is. I got to emphasize this. There's a rhyme or reason to this. And it's not based upon some of the things we think it's based upon. It's based upon, truly, it is based upon wrong or right. But what's wrong or right? It's based upon the fundamentals, friend. Fundamental goodness. You have an internal law system, and that is what rules you. And I have the same thing. All of us are bound to that. And that in itself is what holds us accountable. There will be many things that come upon you in life, and some more important than others. Yet they all build upon one another. You got to be ready when they come. And in order to be ready, you must come in and out of many things. And you can't always lean on the lessers to get you through, the easy ways to get you through, because they will not. They don't work in certain systems or environments. You must graduate. And God sends you people that will assist you in preparing for those lessons. Now, whether you accept those people and you embrace them and you befriend them and you learn from them, whether they're hard lessons or not, that's up to you. They're going to come regardless. Pass or fail, win or lose, they come regardless. And they all depend on how you interpret you. How you see you. Not how you fake see you. Not how you manipulate and see you. But how you actually see you. I love y'all so deep. And I don't know if this is coming together the way I needed to, but Spirit moved me to come in here and say this. I had just left my little spot. I had me some little chicken and red beans and rice. And I came in here and I wanted to convey this to you, because it's important. It's real. Everything I tell you is real and worthful and useful. God loves you. Keep going. It's never too late. All you got to do is change your mind. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Peace and love.